Oof. Yeah, there's lots of gross stuff in protein powders, but I'm Beatrice, I'm the anti-plastic lady. I'm going to show you how to actually find a clean, non-toxic protein powder. There have been lots and lots of studies done over the past 10 years showing that protein powders have lots of toxic stuff in them, specifically lots of heavy metals. That tends to be the thing that they find the most. Besides all of the testing done by two big testings by the Clean Label Project, as well as another big testing that was done by Momavation just a few months ago. And there's actually lots of things that they found in common. 75% of the protein powders had detectable lead levels. There was one kind that actually had 25 times the legal limit for BPA. All plant proteins had higher amounts of heavy metals. And that is because plants will take up heavy metals from the soil. And you have just plants and they're dehydrated and concentrated, right? Because there's more plants that bring in the heavy metals. Organic protein powders had more heavy metals. Organic also tended to mean that it was more plant-based. And so that's probably one of the reasons why they had higher levels of heavy metals. 47% of the protein powders that were just tested exceeded the Prop 65 levels for heavy metals. And chocolate also had about 4 times more heavy metals than vanilla. Lots of fruits and vegetables have lead, but chocolate in particular is not grown in the United States. And a lot of those places tend to have lead contamination, or that soil has not necessarily been remediated for lead. But there is some good news. They found that BPA and BPS was almost completely eliminated versus their results from 2018. In general, they also found that protein powders from peas were the safest for vegans. However, overall, whey and egg-based powders that were vanilla flavored were by far the safest. And this has now been replicated in lots of other testings as well. Now, Momavation had a recent testing from September, and she did name names. So here are some of the worst. All of these brands had at least one different kind of PFAS that were detected. They had lead and cadmium, and some of them had pesticides. Some of them had glyphosate. Some of the ones that were a little bit better were these brands, all right? These only had trace amounts of lead or phthalates or heavy metals. And then by far, the number one best one that Momavation tested was Paleo Valley, this guy. And the Clean Label Project actually has protein powder brands that are certified as clean, okay, and meet all of their rigorous testing standards. In general, I would say you don't need that much protein. It comes with lots of other issues. Try and get your protein from fresh, unprocessed sources like beans, nuts, seeds, and low-fat dairy. That's going to be the best way to go.